Yeah, I was literally the first guy.
Yeah,
That's invincible, but oh my gosh. I know. Honestly, I hate acting. What size is it? How do you do it?
laser engraved. Build the board. 120. The one you're paying for is combo.
On your website?
You know what? The problem with the black t-shirts is that black line art prints like...
Oh my gosh, there's so much stuff. Do you want to get a picture of it?
a lovely look up, pointing direction. Yeah, it's.
What's that?
There goes the baker with his tray, like always. The same old bread and rolls to sell. Every morning just the same, since the morning that we came to this poor provincial town. Good morning, Val. Good morning, Val.
And Lee, I'm going to give you 60 seconds to talk to me about sandworms. Sandworms. 60 seconds on the clock, starting now.
Sandworms are the indigenous species of the planet Dune. They extrude, for lack of a better word, spice, which is one of the most coveted substances in the universe. The House Harkonnen really wanted them to have all the spice, so they went to Dune.
Challenged to Forbes.
He said really twice?
Yes,
like,
he
really,
did.
really?
He did, yeah.
Count?
The
That was
emphasis.
just for emphasis.
It was good. The emphasis really worked rhetorically, but it cost you. Cost you the game.
He can say Max Remo Band 1,000 times, but I can't say really twice? Really?
Really? It's not on the cards.
All right.
Okay, so Alistair, that's a point for correct challenge. How many seconds? 43 seconds to talk about sandworms, starting now.
Sandworms in the movie Dune, directed by Denis Villeneuve, were depicted quite differently than
Aurora Brown.
It's Denis Villeneuve.
Damn it! Nicely done.
Oh.
Oh, we can do these straight from here. Send it to me.
What? Are you sure? Oh my God, there's other ones.
knew. And he just total silence and said, and that was enough. So that's that story. And that's that story.
We're going for the role of Geordi LaForge.
I was excited as hell. It was Star Trek, man. See, I knew Bob Justman because he was a producer on a movie that I did, TV movie. And not a great TV movie, but I met Bob Justin and befriended him. And so my family watched the original series religiously, right? So when I heard his name, I thought there's only one Robert H. Justman, right? Producing television. It's got to be the same guy. And as it turns out, it was.
So, but I'm standing there, and Corey, who's in his vibe, with his sunglasses on, you know, at night. I wear my sunglasses at night, and he's got girls, and you know, he's Corey, man. And he comes in, and he goes and stands by the popcorn, where the concession area. And Mr. Francis, who was the legendary theater owner that everybody knew, all the studio heads knew him. He was this like legend. He's probably in his 80s. We were standing next to each other, and he points and he goes, "Sean, there's popcorn over there." And I was like, okay. So I got my broom and dustpan, and I walked over, and I'm on the floor, and I was like, "Corey, congratulations, man, I'm so happy for you." And he goes,
because our objective was to entertain, it was to make an entertaining show. That's it, we're actors, we just wanted to entertain you. But it turns out that it actually had impact in ways we never imagined, and that's one of them, that people were, I've spoken to so many people who said, you know, that was what our family bonded around watching Star Trek, and we just appreciate that so much and find it so moving.
You have a movie premiering this month at the Toronto International Film Festival called Ruth, which is very exciting. Tell us a little bit about it.
It's about, I don't want to spoil anything. It's like a psychological drama with some like bad love. I don't know, not bad love, but like love, like forbidden love.
Scott, can I explain just a little bit? Yeah, you can go ahead. I just want to point out, this is at the very end of the show. We know the lights are going to come down, we're going to get on a bus, and there's some burgers, right? But, you know, it's the head crusher. It's my moment in the sun. Oh, but now there's Scott's on stage.
The gay son is on stage.
Everybody else is lying dead because, you know, after all, that's the premise we all fucking agreed on. I don't remember there was a rake on the stage, so why is a body rolling slowly, giggling, inexorably? Carry on.
Yeah, so we would all die, but for some reason Scott went and jumped into the ball.
I rolled off.
He decided to his head that with the lights off, where no one could see him, it would look really cool if he rolled off the stage.
This thing online where the guy that created Gremlins was like, he's just a knockoff. But on like day, like when we're doing that big scene with like all the people that stormed into the bridge to like take out Moff, on that day, I was sitting there just like super bored, and Grogu was sitting next to me, and we were just sort of like lounging there between the scenes. And I was like talking to him as if like he's a normal thing. By myself in a corner. Like I was legitimately by myself. No one could hear me, but I was like having a conversation with him, and I was like, this is so boring. Are you bored? Yeah. Do you ever get upset? Like, what do you look like when do you have a bored face? Do you have an angry face? Oh my God, what do you look like when you're angry? And he legitimately went,
Did you? I've not seen any, I'm not making this up, I'm not being weird about it. I've never seen any Superman anything. I've seen maybe an episode of Lois and Clark when I was, I don't know, maybe 7 or 8 years old, maybe. I have a visual memory of seeing it on the TV. I think my mom was watching it, but I'd never seen anything. And when I got the job, there was one of two things. I was either going to go back and watch everything, or stay away from everything.
And one of the things that I couldn't put in the book was one of my favorite lines. And it's not out today because it's not the last time. But at that moment I did say, 3PO, what are you doing? Taking one last look, sir, at my friends. I'm looking at you, I will see you again, my friends. Thank you.
Well, I was a huge fan of Neville as I was reading the books myself. You know, when I talk about being cast, they didn't put me in the role because I was a good actor. They put me in the role because I was Neville. That was very much me, and I was inspired by his journey throughout the books as much as anyone. You know, I learned a lot from his courage and his journey in my own life.
Okay, ready?
You used to call me on my... You used to, yeah. You used to call me on my cell phone. Late night when you need my love. Call me on my cell phone. Late night when you need my love.
And I know when that hotline bling, that can only mean one thing. I know when that hotline bling, that can only mean one thing.
Okay, now I have no idea how this tune goes.
It's fine.
Alright, so it goes. Ever since I left the city, you got a reputation for yourself now. Everybody knows and I feel left out. Girl, you got me down. You got me stressed out. Because ever since I left the city, I'm feeling pretty shit. No, wait, that's not. You started wearing less and going out more. Glasses of champagne out on the dance floor. Hanging with some girls I've never seen before.
Hello, nurse.
Hello, nurse.
Hello? Oh, you used to call me on my cell phone. Late night when you need my love, my dirty, mucky love. Call me on my cell. I don't even know what a cell phone is. Late night when you need my love. Yes, my precious white, mucky love. Oh, God. I know when that hotline bling, it can only mean one thing. I know when that hotline bling, it can only mean one thing.
This is so stupid. Sombra doesn't sing. Ever since I left the city, you and me, we just don't get along. You make me feel like I did you wrong. Going places where you don't belong. Ever since I left the city, why do they keep repeating you? You got exactly what you asked for. Running out of pages in your passport because I hacked it. Hanging with some girls I've never seen before.
Yeah, you used to call me on my cell phone last night when you need my love. Call me on my mobile last night when you know. And I know when that hotline bling, that can only mean one thing. I know when that hotline bling, that can only mean that's all, folks.
Off in teams of two, so we're gonna put Dom and Billy together and Sean and Elijah, if that's okay. And one of y'all is gonna wear a set of headphones with like loud music playing. And the other one is gonna say a famous phrase. They're gonna whisper it. And you're gonna have to try to read their lips and guess what famous phrase they're saying.
We will be brilliant at this.
Yeah,
Brilliant.
you guys are gonna crush it. You guys are gonna crush it. So here we have Mike. Round of applause for Mike, everyone. With the headphones. Dom's gonna be the whisperer first, so we'll give the headphones to Billy.
His name's Mike, but he's bringing on headphones now.
I know, it's very unusual. Do we have the cards for these guys as well? Okay.
Goodbye, never gonna run the line.
Oh, wait, the counselor. Did he just get rickrolled?
Get me up. Okay, and whisper it off mic. Okay.
Can I take these off?
Yes, you can.
May the force be with you.
And you would be good at that! I'm always licking your lips, waiting to get kissed.
All right. We're next with the headphones.
Oh, I know. What movie is that from again?
It does feel like a love scene a little bit.
Life is a box of chocolates.
Absolutely, Moff Gideon's story, part of the story that we don't know, and I'm not an expert as probably as many of the audience may be more of an expert even than I, or even you. But when everything fell apart, there were wardens who were placed in different parts of this particular galaxy to maintain order.
The sort of side of Mount Doom right before Sam and Frodo actually get into the mountain to destroy the ring, that journey up the mountain where Frodo really is suffering his most and is almost hallucinating and is not himself anymore, that was really challenging, and I felt a lot of internal pressure just to get that right. That it would be emotionally resonant, that you would empathize with what he was going through, that it was truthful, and it was obviously quite unique. There's not a lot of my own life experience to draw on in terms of what that he was physically experiencing and emotionally experiencing. So that I definitely think was the most challenging sequence to get right. And
this was very real. At the time, we almost did Freddy versus Jason versus Ash with Bruce Campbell, and Sam Raimi was going to direct it. But the people at New Line were worried about Freddy Krueger dying twice in a row. And my theory was, my God, you resurrected me in part 4 with dog urine. How hard could it be? But I love the idea of being kind of meta, kind of like Deadpool, and even pushing it further than Freddy versus Jason. And I had this idea for the poster of Bruce Campbell, who was not a young buck anymore, but Bruce Campbell with his chest and his lats and his muscles all airbrushed, like what's the film with Gerard Butler? The 300, yeah. A lot of those stuntmen, that's paint, you guys. They're not all that ripped. I know the guys that did the painting. Anyway, from Montreal. And the stuntmen couldn't go, they can't keep away from those free craft services. But so Bruce Campbell with wind in his hair, okay? He's got the Beyonce wind machine, all right? His shirt's off his shoulder. He's all airbrushed here. He's got oil all over him, and it says, Freddy versus Jason versus Ash. And he's got Jason in a headlock, and he's got Freddy in a headlock. And on the bottom of the poster it says, keeping the world safe from sequels.
Just working with John is an honor and a pleasure. And so my interest immediately was, let's see the material, And I was invited over to the stages where we shoot in Manhattan Beach. And there's a large conference room, I mean large, maybe probably 3/4 this stage, but twice as deep. And all around, 360 degrees on the walls, were all these magnificent pieces of art that were indicative of what this Mandalorian was going to be like. And I read
Was this like a power move? Like he's
No,
bringing
not
it right
at all.
in?
No, John isn't that way. He's not that way at all. It was just, he's so thorough and his vision is so acute that he wanted me to see what this was going to be, And initially, geez, I should probably save this for the book, but the truth is, initially I was supposed to, I guess, be in one episode. know? And the character was going to be in this kind of get-up where people always, you know, in the Star Wars universe are these different kind of creatures, right? And so my character was going to be this creature like so many of them, right? And I, you know, I've been around the block a few times in a few movies that have been fairly successful.
Really?
But, you know, my thought process was, without saying it to anybody, people know the name, people know the face. Why the hell are you gonna put me in this mask that they can't see it? I mean, you know. And I never said anything to him, and we had another meeting after I'd agreed to be a part of it and everything. And John said to me, you know, Carl, I had a second thought. I don't think we're gonna do that with you.
From WandaVision and Rise of the Guardians, give it up for Wanda Maximoff and Jack Frost! From My Hero Academia, it's Mirko! From One Piece, it's Surgeon of Death, Trafalgar Law! From her own brain, we give it up for Ari! All right, from Five Nights at Freddy's, give it up for Puppet and Vanessa. And I love this next version of this character. From Top Gun, please welcome Maverick. From the Roblox universe, it's Kaden Bumblebottom! For Doctor Strange and the Time Stone! It's the Mandalorian, everybody! Appropriate mashup for this weekend, it's Hellfire Club Spider-Man! Give it up for the Red Sus from Among Us! Anime trio from Death Note, it's Misa Misa, like Yagami and Ryo. That's a nightmare fuel for you there. Nice job. Our first duo, give it up for Joker and Haru. Wait, hold on a second. We gotta bring that back for a second. Was that for real? Did that just happen? And you said yes? You just